evening, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Armory. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to X. Welcome, Nick. Welcome to what will be a show and a half tonight. I can tell you that for certain. How are you doing first, though, Nick?
I am. It's a better day today. Any day that you can say is a better day is a good one, right? So
Yes.
enjoyed the sunshine today. Managed to lower the blood pressure. Out with the wife and the hound. Only for that to be totally ruined by the football match. But hey, we're about to get into that. But all good. How's you?
Yeah, obviously this is a nightmare because obviously it's my local team against the team I love. So for me, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, the whole game has just been overshadowed. Look, the game wasn't that great, to be fair, but it was overshadowed by what I can only describe as a twat. And that's me putting it nicely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I was there. Was it 3 seasons ago? Martinelli double yellow. I was there. I was in the Arsenal end on that game, and it was a double yellow. Now, I agree. It was harsh, but the rules are the rules. And to be fair, he did do 2 fouls and 2 yellows for it, and that's fine. So I take away what happened before, but today he felt like he wanted to be the centre of attention. And it was horrendous by him today for me. I know everyone said, "Oh, we did a great game in midweek." Yeah, you probably did in Champions League because UEFA won't hire him again.
No.
But we've got no choice.
The line a bit, hasn't he?
Yeah. It was that in the Premier League. We've got no choice. He is unfortunately the best of the worst because they're all awful. I don't like a single one of our refs. I don't know. How long have you watched football for, Nick? Because obviously I actually don't know how old you are, but
how old do you think I am? No, let's not go there.
I haven't honestly got a clue, so I don't know what.
Right, so
I'm
approaching 25 plus 20, so 45 years old. I've been watching football since the 80s.
Okay, so you're exactly the same as me then, because I'm 44. So so you and me will remember there were some decent refs. We were always like, but we never really knew their names. Not really.
I'll go with that. Yeah.
But now we know their hobbies, what they like to eat, what they like to drink, where they live, who they support. I couldn't give a monkey's butt, and I don't want to know this kind of stuff about them. They should not exist.
Referees should be like a very good manager. You shouldn't really know them, and they grease the cogs and make everything happen.
Yes, correct.
Now, whenever you're going to make a decision, you're going to upset some people because sometimes, as football fans, we lose our objectivity, right?
Yes.
And I do. If I'm looking back at the slow-mo of Mars Lewis Skelly's challenge.
Yes.
And they're talking about studs above the ankle and all the rest of it, you can go, okay. I can kind of see where you're going.
Yeah.
When you see it in real time.
Yes.
You're like, that's an absolute crock of.
Yes.
When you actually then put it in context of the referee, you turn around and say, well, I think if you turn around to me and said, Nick, I'll give you a challenge. I bet you could go through Michael Oliver's games as a referee, and I'm going to give you £1,000 for every time there has been a challenge like that in one of his games and he hasn't got given a red card.
Yeah.
Then I'll be loaded. Let's face it, because that sort of challenge will happen in practically every single game of football. Yeah. I've given away challenges like that. I've done it.
Dirty player. Dirty player.
It's called taking one from the team.
It is. Yeah.
I've gone through multiple media, and the entire response was, shock. I think this is going to get overturned. It's taking one for the team, straight yellow. It's all been those sort of reactions.
Yeah, 100%. And it's not even from just Arsenal fans. It's everybody. Everybody from even Jamie O'Hara, who I cannot stand.
I know. I feel like I've crossed over to the dark side when I'm agreeing with Jamie O'Hara. So,
I know.
But the problem is, if we take like the Saliba challenge, now this is where I lose my objectivity. If I was on the opposition, would I say that was a red card? I would probably go, that's a bit tough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the one where he's last man of defence being turned, and one where he's going for the header as well. Both of them, I'm like, you know what? I could make an argument for it if I wanted to.
Yes.
But I feel that's a little bit of a tough one.
Yes.
When you take then Miles Lewis Skelly as well. And so, sorry, what I was going to say was, so you take the William Saliba challenge.
Yeah.
And then we go, but then what happens in the box with the Tottenham play? Do you remember the same weekend?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you know, and we go, but this isn't even an example in different games on the same weekend, or an example in different games over a couple of weeks. In the same blasted game in the second half, the PGMO will come out and say, studs high, this, that, and the other, red card.
Yeah. Yeah.
The referee then lets that Gomez challenge, and he gives a yellow. And I'm like, have I just fallen off? Have I bumped my head and I'm just seeing the world all wrong? And, you know, I'm discombobulated and cognitive dissonance or something like that. And I'm just not getting this. And I'm like, how can that be a yellow and that be a red, where that one's carrying the weight of the player?
Yes.
And force and challenge and intent. And the other one is obviously just a cynical foul.
Yeah. No, I agree, mate. It's madness. It's madness. It really is. What I do expect, it will be overturned this week. I think it will go to panel, and I think it will be overturned. I don't think even Arsenal needs to appeal this, to be honest. I do personally.
You know, when Dermot tell a lot of lies to whatever is needed for the current situation, comes out on his programming, he does his ref watch or whatever he does.
Yeah,
I'm predicting it now. They never contradict a referee.
No.
He will turn around and say both of them should have been a straight red.
Okay,
and that's what I reckon. I think they're going to go down that path. Yeah. I don't. Do you see where I'm coming from? I don't think they're going to pull the rug out from under him. I think they will find. They always do. They do these mental gymnastics to kind of, you know, letter of the law and this, that, and the other. And the ball, Saliba didn't hit the ball hit him. You know, all of that malarkey, and they will find a way to not have to turn this over.
Yeah.
So I think they'll turn around and say both of them should have been a red card. That's what I think they'll do, and they might upgrade. Can they upgrade a card from yellow to a red? They can't, can they?
No. Can they give him a longer suspension? Possible.
Maybe
they can give him a longer because he has got a red card anyway now, hasn't he? So because he got 2 yellows.
Yeah.
They could possibly try and ban him for a little bit longer, which they probably will if they can. Yeah. I just got a feeling with Lewis Skelly, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously. No. Real time, I didn't think it was. No. Slow mo, thought, I kind of see where he possibly thought about it, but it happens every single blooming game. I'll be honest.
Mean, Bobby, it just doesn't. This is the referee that said Kovacic's challenge on Declan Rice wasn't a red because he didn't want to impinge the flow of the game or whatever rubbish he said at that time. Can you remember?
I'm having a horrible feeling, right, that you and Temmie and everybody else in the chat have all ganged up here and trying to make my life as miserable as possible. Because why have you brought that one up?
Sorry. Is that in the chat as well?
Well, no, you know, because last night you were trying to bring up the 5 most hated players. God. Now you're bringing up the worst decisions he's ever made. And they were awful. That City game was atrocious.
I mean, Wolves away, as you said, we had the double Martinelli.
Yes.
There was another card recently there as well. There's another one that I'm not even thinking about right now.
Is there?
In just recent years, yeah. Anywho, I just wanted to say, Brenny's in the chat, the legend that is. I hope he is doing well.
Hopefully he's getting better. Yeah.
Yes, I do as well.
Because I need him back because he helps me through these periods as well because he's nice and calm. I'm so angry tonight, as I'll be honest. But there is geeks in the house saying what a boring and uneventful game. Exactly. Big up to Temmie saying evening, Bobby. Hope you're doing well, Tem. Fate saved us from the evil hands of Michael Oliver again, 100%. Kai Sonogo officially relegated to my alternative teams. The only thing is, I will always back up Kai because this is not his position. It's hard, I feel sorry for him. I feel so sorry for the kid, and he is still a kid. He's not that old.
I've got to say, I do understand with Kai the frustration because we're playing in that position, and the you want clinical, but the manager is putting him in that position, so the manager has to take some personal responsibility there.
For me, that's the blame is on him.
And so with Kai, I've got to say, all of these chances today, he never scuffed one, or they were close. You know, he tested the keeper. I mean, even with Calafiori's goal, he tried to put his foot on it, and luckily enough, he missed it because he would have diverted it straight at the keeper. So I was quite pleased that he actually missed it. But I'm feeling for Kai right now. I want him to score a hat-trick against City and kind of, you know.
Yeah. But I will always protect him because I loved him at Leverkusen. I thought he was a fantastic player at that club. Whatever happened at Chelsea happens at Chelsea. You literally go through that front door and it's like kryptonite. All your powers get taken away.
Yeah, I know. But it's almost like our development has come on too soon for him. You know, when you're going from, let's look at United right now. You take Manchester United. That would be almost a perfect team for Kai because the expectation isn't challenging for the title right now.
Yeah.
It's building to being challengers again. And that's when you can find your form and bed in and everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you've had your confidence knocked, it takes a couple of seasons sometimes.
It does.
It really does. I mean, you look at the Bergkamp that was for instance, at Inter.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the Bergkamp that we got, but even
I know where you're going with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love Bergkamp, but Inter Milan, I don't know who he was. It wasn't him.
But they were trying to use him as an out-and-out nine, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
and that's why I kind of use Bergkamp as that example for. I'm not saying he's going to be a Bergkamp. I won't do that to anybody.
Yeah,
but that sort of player in the wrong position with the wrong pressure on them, can really make them look awful. And sometimes it is just the wrong player in the wrong system.
Oh, definitely, and it is at the moment. He's doing his best.
He is, without complaint.
Yeah, and a weird way for people to maybe understand it. It's like having Saka as the number 9. It would be impossible for him to perform well there because it's not his position. No. Havertz has never really played on the right, and I think we should do it, especially without Saka right now.
It is a little bit of a shame that we don't have a number 9 to stick in the team because with Odegaard out.
Yes,
him taking the Odegaard role right now in midfield.
Yeah,
I think we would see a blooming good player because I seem to feel that's where some of his best games for Leverkusen came.
Yeah. Honestly, he's such a good player, and I just will always protect him because he's just not playing his role right now. And you know, it's me being asked to be a left back when I'm a right back. Honestly, I guarantee you're not going to get a good performance out of me. I'll put my hands up to it now because it's a totally different role for me. Temi, loving the intro as always. Big up to my Brenny pod brother. Not a great performance, but we'll take 3 points all day long. Absolutely. I definitely will. I've got a bit of bragging rights around here for now. So that's all good. Evening to all in the chat. Seriously, we need a striker signing. Put Ghostfurts out of his misery. Obviously, we're going to have a problem trying to. If we wanted to sell him, we would have a problem selling him as well.
Now I came up with something in the chat yesterday, Bobby.
Did you?
Yeah. Would you know, considering where he comes from?
Yes.
And if he goes on from here, Kai, and adds another 10 goals before the end of the season, and he finishes on a 25 goal season.
Yes.
Considering he's playing for a marker, just putting it out there to a wiser mind. So you're playing for a Premier League team and you've got 25 goals, not necessarily 10 or 25 league goals. To the La Liga and Bundesliga teams, that's got to be a little bit more attractive if you become available, to the point of his sales price might be enough that the drop-off isn't too much from what we paid, maybe. But considering where he came from, could a deal be done for a player that we both love if we chucked in a bit of money?
I know. I see where you're going with that. I've always said that he would suit Bayern Munich very well. He would be brilliant in Bundesliga. I'll be honest, my Dortmund could do with him right now because we're struggling mid-table. His value at the moment, I've just looked up his market value. He's only dropped 9 million from what he paid, so it's not too bad. Because to be fair, he's not awful. It's not shocking bad numbers. His stats, to be fair, aren't too bad. It's just the fact that Arsenal fans are not happy because he's not putting every chance away.
We got like this with Giroud, didn't we?
Yeah. But look what Giroud did as soon as he left.
Absolutely. But I think that could there be a deal? Because I could imagine Kai might be tempted to return to Germany.
Yeah.
I don't know if he feel, because he's still young though. So I was just wondering if we said,
25, isn't he? So
yeah, Leverkusen, we'll give you Kai and 20 million.
You're thinking of a certain Wirtz.
Yes, I love him.
Oh no. I'm just gonna. You keep talking for a minute. I'm going to look up how much their maximum wage is because I don't think they're anywhere near.
I know that is the problem.
Because obviously Bayern Munich currently are trying to cut down what they're spending on wages.
Yeah,
and I'm guessing Leverkusen are probably nowhere near 100,000 for a player.
No, but if you've done Havertz and money, say you've done Havertz and 10 million. Well, what's the problem with that 10 million being used to substitute Havertz's wages to facilitate the deal?
True. I see where you're coming from, but unfortunately, football teams don't.
Doesn't work like that. I know. I know.
Right. The maximum. Oh, to be fair, 161,000 is what they're paying for Mukiele.
Really?
Yeah.
What is Wirtz on?
Wirtz is only on 80,000.
Get out of it.
No.
How is that?
I don't know.
I mean, isn't Vieira on more than that?
Who's that?
Vieira.
Vieira. Oh, Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio.
Fabio. No, I don't think he's on that much. I think he's on 50,000.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not on much. This is what I always also protect him as well. I know he's just not suited to the Premier League. I get that, but he's not on a lot of money.
Isn't he 58 kilos?
Yeah, he's tiny.
He is, isn't he? And that's like me trying to be tackled by my daughter. It's like, you know, when you put the head on the kid and you're like, yeah, go on, you swing away. They're all out. Bless him. I don't feel like him going to Porto was the right move. He should have gone to La Liga. We should have loaned him to a better league.
Yeah, because we've just sent him back to where he came from, and he's not going to toughen up there. Because
Sociedad would have maybe been a great destination for him. You know, that sort of club.
Yeah, it's just I think to be fair, just need him to be happy because he's not happy. So we need to find his happy place. But he's still struggling over there now. To be fair,
I know this is supposed to. I was just going to ask you. You know, with Fabio Vieira and how we've said come to the club. And we've gave him this vision and we paid 35 million and we've turned around to Marino and we've done something similar and we've done some at Kivior. We got Kivior over and we've said, look, now we've created some potential dead wood within the squad. Just from what we have sold them, how we're actually using them and what the reality is. And I mean, does that take the gloss off this so-called project that's got a load of pull?
Yeah, for me it has. And I can only put the blame on Arteta. There's no one else because he's choosing the players now. Reno, for me, is absolutely pointless at Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, I would have played. I said to you before, I'd play Zinni at 8.
Yeah, and
he's got a better eye for goal.
And there's a big possibility Zinni might leave.
I know.
So, personally, I would try and sell Marino as quick as I could, personally. But that's just me. I'm quite harsh. But no, I get where you're coming from, and I just feel that we've made a few errors in signings, like Kivior. That hasn't panned out as well as it should have done. Obviously, we didn't get the targets we wanted last summer, so we ended up with Neto and Sterling this season. Definitely have not worked out well.
So, sorry, Bobby. Yeah, go on, carry it. Sorry, go on.
No, you asked what you were going to ask, mate.
I was going to say, what do you, with the outgoings?
Yes.
What do you see in terms of numbers that we're going to need this summer? Because I was thinking it's easily 8. It's easily 8 bodies because we've got the defense that we need to the attack that we need to increase. We've got 2 from midfield potentially going, and we've got about 3 or 4 from the defense that are pretty much going. That's on top of like adding numbers to a depleted squad already. It feels quite sizable about what we've got to do.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, for me, there's quite a lot to be done. I think Max Doman will be a shock person to be in the squad next season. So that kind of covers one of the slots. So like I said at the end of last season, I think Lewis Skelly will take El Nenny's place, which he literally has. He's played way more than El Nenny has. Did at the time. I do expect Max Doman probably to have a bit of a role. If we get Nipan, I expect him to have a role. In our squad. So they're 2 young uns.
Yeah.
Obviously, the goalkeeper will have to be sorted out because we need one. Setford is not ready for number 2. No, Setford's fine for number 3.
Do you reckon? Okay.
Yeah, he's fine for number 3, and we've also got Nygaard, who's not far behind as well. So
okay,
and then we've got the Colombian, who I cannot remember his name.
No,
Wajas, I think his name is.
Yeah.
So we got enough goalkeepers now. We just need number 2.
Right.
As for obviously, we all know we want a big number 9, like a top quality one. We will get one of those, but we're also looking at a younger one. Which annoys me because obviously we sold BRF and BRF is doing well.
BRF, right now, I felt like BRF would be an exciting prospect in these days when we're looking to try and get a goal, because the way that he was such a direct runner as well.
Yeah.
He could carry the ball. The sort of thing that we're looking for Sesko is not a too dissimilar profile to what Mika BRF can do.
Tell me about it.
I thought he was going to say nonsense. That's how I see Mika BRF. I feel like we've just pushed one out that we could actually this season could have made a difference. He was big, strong, fast. I mean, I don't get it, Bobby.
You know what I don't get is the fact we actually paid £1 million for that young kid from Fulham, because we had a vision. And then all of a sudden, Arteta lost that vision. And as I said,
vision. He slept on the toilet and banged his head and came up with the flux capacitor or something.
You are so up my street when it comes to film, to tell you. But no, it's more of a case of he's just lost that the Arsenal Football Club have always brought through our academy players. Doesn't necessarily have to be like from 8 years old, like Nathan. Obviously, Nathan's been with Arsenal since he was 8. And it was lovely to see him get a minute the other night. Yeah. But even just like Mika BRF, we paid £1 million because we had great hopes for him, and he was looking good. He was looking sharp. And we just, for some reason, just didn't trust him. And I'm like, why? It's literally the type of player you wanted.
But Bobby, come on. We sent him out on two different clubs last season, to Motherwell and to Sturm Graz. Neither club, one club signed him because they really wanted to keep him, and the other one was really gutted that they lost him halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Isn't that telling you everything you need to know?
I know.
And now he's being signed by Monaco, which is great for you.
Well, yeah,
because you still get to support him. Yeah, but it's like, isn't that telling you something? I know.
It's the fact that obviously we lost Chido as well. Chido, as everyone knows, how much I loved him, and I was having a great hope that I'd see him in an Arsenal shirt for the first team.
Yeah,
and I lost him, and obviously he's a tall player, very similar to Sesko type again, and this is what frustrates me. He's exactly the type of profile that Arteta wants, but it just doesn't trust him. And I'm like, what are you doing, mate? Because the thing is, it's weird because he obviously came through the academies and stuff. And he, I wouldn't say he's had a fantastic career. He went to Rangers, which is obviously one of my Scottish clubs. But it's just like, what's wrong with you? And even Mehmet said this to him. He doesn't understand what the problem is between the two links, because the under-21s, for people that don't know, the under-21s and under-18s are all set up in the style that we play. So they all know how they play.
Yeah.
So that's why Lewis Skelly has done so well, and exactly the same with Nwaneri. They've come in, they know exactly what their role is, and it doesn't take them too long to get the game plan in. And there's a few others there. And I was like, Ismail Kabir. Look, everyone raved about him when they saw him in pre-season at the beginning of this season. We've hardly seen him. Now, this kid, again, is something special. And obviously, we lost Koshi Dubry last summer. I know a lot of people go, whatever. But
no, I'm gutted about that one.
Yeah,
I saw potential.
Raul Walters, I'm not saying he would have been a first teamer, but he would have been a squad player. And look, that is just as important as a first teamer for me, because you're not spending 20 million quids on a squad player, which you have to. You have to spend about 20 million quid now for a squad player.
Can I ask you, just on that point there, if you bring in a Koshi Dubry and Raul Walters, say that both of them got brought through to the team, do you think they're realistic enough with the advisors around them that even at the point of being a squad, it still may take you a couple of years to cement yourself as a first team player? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping that they've got that perspective. You've cracked the first bit, and it's going to take work for you to be able to cement the next bit.
Yeah.
Because you look at some of the greats, and when they started regularly playing football, it does come later for some players.
Yeah, it does. And that's the thing. Like what I keep saying, that I mentioned about paths. If you don't see a path, you will then move on. Which is
absolutely.
Cheeto didn't see a path because he knows what we're looking
buying
for in the market as well. And he's like, well, if you're signing someone of that age, what chance have I got?
Absolutely. You're going to be stuck.
Probably haven't got one, mate, to be honest. It's like we're looking at a 21-year-old. We all know who it is. It's Sesko, so I'm not shocking anyone by that. But we're looking at a 20-year-old who's doing quite well in Italy at the moment. Who knows? He might actually coming in the final window because he is possible. We do have a very good relationship with the club that we could buy him from. So he might be in at the end of the window. But again, he's 20 years old. So obviously that knocks down Cheeto back to number 3.
Yeah.
And who knows? We might. And then you got Kai, you got Trossard still at the club. Trossard can play number 9, despite what people think. For some reason, people don't think he can, but
he's the best striker of the ball out of our front line.
Exactly. If you're a good striker, you can play striker. It's as simple as that, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, it's yeah. We're doing. I think me and
we've diverted a bit, haven't we? I've just seen Tony's comment. It's like, don't forget review the game, and it's like,
we'll get there eventually.
We're just gonna have a pint, guys. Everybody, just relax. Get yourself a pint. Just put our feet up.
Just so everyone knows what's happening behind. That is outside Michael Oliver's house at the moment. It's just loads of fireworks because he's celebrating the massive pay grade that he's been given. Everyone gets a 10 except Havertz. Not applicable, says Tim. Tell me say good evening to Brand. Good evening, lads. Big up to Chris. Thank you for beating Ipswich, by the way, today. Thank you very much. That cheered me up. I would take Carl Fletcher at number 9 from Manchester United, says Brent. Seriously, is there a way Arsenal can take the PG? Well, this is the thing. A lot of people forget this. The people that pay the PMGL is, guess who? The Premier League teams and FA. We all have
is that their only revenue stream, do we reckon?
Yeah, it is. It's literally it's very well monitored. There is no way. I know a lot of people say it's corruption. There is no way it can be corruption. Are refs twats? Yes. Are they rubbish? Yes. There's nothing we can stop from doing that, but there's definitely no corruption at all.
Okay.
I do question sometimes. I
don't like this going abroad for refereeing.
Yeah, there is. For me, there are question marks sometimes, like Michael Oliver being one, and obviously he is a Newcastle fan, and currently this red card does suspend him for the Newcastle game, which kind of question marks sometimes.
Refereeing the same league their clubs are from.
The problem is, and I'll be honest, good luck trying to find people that just support Rotherham. Unfortunately, that is the problem. All of us do kind of just have a Premier League team now, which is a bit of a shame because obviously that's why the lower teams struggle with their fans. And I've said, anyone that wants to be a ref, get into it, please. Don't get used
absolutely.
To it. Mike Dean is well famous for being a Tranmere fan. That's his pain. That's who he's chosen. That's fine. But there are a lot in our league now that have top teams that they support: Liverpool, Newcastle, whoever. And good luck trying to find ones that have no links with our clubs because it's next to impossible, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there's not a big amount of people that want to be refs, and that's the shame. And I kind of get it at the same time, because do you really want all the stuff that they have to deal with after the game? Even if they are absolutely awful, they don't deserve the personal stuff that they get, which I'm sure he will get, unfortunately, today, Michael Oliver. But he needs to improve in the reffing department.
I would rather see them mic'd up in games so we can actually hear what their reasoning is.
I spoke about this probably last year or the year before. The reason that we don't, and unfortunately it's a very valid point, is the players'
language.
Yes.
But then you can crack down like that in the rugby.
Yes.
We could do
which
that.
Amazes me, because in rugby, they are, considering they're the tough men, compared to
they show a lot more respect, don't they?
They do.
And I think that players need to. You have a look at a youngsters game right now and how they will talk or react to the referee. That example needs to be given. And
100%.
I'm a big believer, show respect to the referees and all the rest of it. I know, like today, what we're talking about, but I do feel like player conduct around the referees can be better.
Yes, 100%. Because M works in a college, and it's connected with the foundation of the football club here. And she's had so many problems with the the kids that attend the foundation and their respect is lacking, and they're like 16, 17-year-olds, and it's horrible to see. And something needs to be done quickly.
Absolutely.
Because there needs to be respect. Pretty saying evening to Temi. Must be the first weekend where both of my teams were. Oh, did Carlisle win? Yes, well done. Oh, so glad for you. To be honest, mate, I've not seen any other results because obviously something else has been on my mind today. The save sent off Trossard for a ridiculous ball clearance. I still feel that was a yellow. I'll be honest. I do take off my Arsenal hat when it comes to that. I still think he was stupid. I've always been brought up. Arsenal always hated by everybody, and just don't give them any ammunition to use against you. So don't do anything stupid around the ref.
I think that is hard because I was talking with one of our guys on the WhatsApp, and he was saying that as well, and I've said that in the past as well. But then I was thinking there are just some things that are conventional being pulled up. Yeah, it's really hard. Like Miles Lewis Skelly today, that's hard, because how many times is that going to happen?
Yeah,
over the season, and we won't see anything
100%.
for it.
Yeah, that I know. Brenny said that's a yellow. Yes, 100% it's a yellow. I will definitely have no problems with it being a yellow, but it's not a red. Not for me. I've seen many views of it. It's not a red.
It's a yellow all day long.
Yeah. I know Doherty didn't even go for the red because Matt's a lovely guy. But yeah, it's just Michael Welliver. It's just a numpty. I'm glad Mike was listening to me for once. It's amazing what you can do playing players in the positions and doing the bloody basics. I'm glad Carlisle got the 3 points for you, mate. Refs are killing the game. Yes, they've been for a long time, to be fair. By the way, Carlisle wins still irrelevant, still 5 points off safety. So let's call a spade here. Well, hopefully this is the start of the turnaround for you, mate. Refs in the 80s were so unbiased, 100%. Loved them back then. Hated Lavelle last season. Bloody love him this season. It's amazing, and how a new manager can just change someone's position at a club. It's mad. Big up to Arsenal above all, saying hi, Bobby and Nick. I've just calmed down after that. I've never seen anything like this in all my years of watching football. The agenda against us is so clear. Look how quick he got the red out. Oh, 100%. But there's only one bit of bonus that I take from it. It means our Arsenal are back. We're now a threat again, which means they're going to find any way to try and derail us. So I like that bit because we're now back to being powerful. But yeah, I don't like that.
I think it might give us a couple of weeks' grace as well. I don't think we'll see another. We've got Chelsea. Who've we got? We've got City, and when's the Newcastle and Chelsea matches? They're coming up soon as well, aren't they?
They're pretty much the next games after that, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's Girona in the week, City, Newcastle, then Chelsea.
I think it might be.
Yeah, it might be. I'll be honest. I've got so many fixtures in my head. I can't work out what's the right order. But yeah, I had to see that red card, which wasn't red card. Make sense. I was laughing how horrendous. Yeah, the decision was mad, mate. And Chris, I respect you because obviously you're a Liverpool fan, so you're not even doing it as an Arsenal fan. So thank you for that, Chris. The club needs to draw a line in the sand. I don't care if they get pillared in the media. They need to go public with all Oliver's decision in question PNGO and refuse to let ref our games.
On that, I think we can't go Nottingham Forest about this.
No, we can't.
It's almost like, have you seen the film American Gangster?
Yes.
You know when he's just got married, Lucas has just got married, right? And then Josh Brolin turns up, pulls over the car, and he's like, "Don't you think I'm important? Where's my little brown envelope?"
Yeah,
it almost felt like Michael Oliver done that to us today. Do you know what I mean? It was like your players going off. I'm not getting the respect and love. This is what happens. It was just like, what? And I don't think I think we've got to be very careful in how we manage this situation.
Yes,
but something is definitely off in the way that they are so ready to implement the letter of the law against our club. Because the amount of times that I've heard independent pundits say, "Well, I've never seen that." I mean, they'll do it on Match of the Day. They said about the Saliba, the clash of heads. They was like, for them, in their opinion, of ex-players playing the game, they were all of the opinion that that wasn't a red.
Yeah,
and I think if that was a keeper in his glove, you could say that would be a red. So then you're like, okay, he touched it, but anyway. But it gets to that point where the rules are being implemented by the letter of the law. That's the defense. And then we see all these other instances around us. And it's like, well, where's the letter of the law? I just want consistency, Bobby. If Miles Lewis Skelly's challenge is a straight red, it wasn't even a yellow, it was a straight red, then that is now the standard that they've got to implement. And of course they can't. It was like with the kicking the ball away malarkey. They can't keep it because all the players would have been suspended by the second half of the season. We'd have no squads left. And so then they pull back on it. And it's like, no, we can't maintain. We'll let it all die down, but we can't maintain that level of fussiness. So we're just going to die. And it's like, so why are there certain clubs? We're not the only one.
Yeah.
Why are there certain clubs getting these contentious decisions where all of a sudden you've decided to implement this?
Yeah.
My biggest, what I was going to say earlier, I would appreciate, I don't care who it is, it could be whoever's got the rights to the game of that day.
Yeah.
But just to have a talk with the referees and say, these are some of the things.
Yep.
So we don't listen to third parties. We get it from the referee's mouth. Because I would love to have seen Michael Oliver explain Miles Lewis Skelly as red to Gomez's yellow, which was a second yellow, from his own words. And the images put in front of him and say, just explain that.
Yeah.
Not a mouthpiece. And I think that encourages transparency. And if you're then knowing you've got to face that at the end of the game, and I think that might put a different sort of pressure on you.
May do. Yeah. No, I get it. Look, Howard Webb came over from the MLS, did a great job for MLS. For anyone that didn't know, he set up the refs over there, and he's turned them into magicians now. They are brilliant. And he was meant to come over here and do the same over here, but it's just not working. Mainly because I think that the refs just think they're above themselves. They think they're.
Is it because he's got no pull to pull up, Bobby?
No, because Howard Webb is amazing. The respect that they have for him is amazing, but I just think they're all in this kind of, I'm a celeb now, but you're not. You're just a ref.
So what I meant as well was, say for instance, you turn around and say to you, ref number 1, 2, 3, sorry, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
Has he got replacements that he can implement without losing the room? Do you understand? So if he turns around and says, right, refs 1, 2, and 3, you're out.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull in 3 new refs. Does that mean refs 4 to 12 are now going to be, I'm going to sort you out, mate, and I'm going to down tools because you've just chucked my mate. Do you understand? Does he lose the dressing room and has he got enough people to replace? That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, that is the major problem. We haven't got enough refs. We haven't. So we, if we were to have a weekend where all 10 matches were horrendously officiated, there's no way Howard could sack all 10. No way. Because we would have no referees for the following weekend. So that means no games. And obviously the power of the Premier League is way more than refs. So much money behind it. It's a problem because like Rob Jones, who is for me the worst referee in the Premier League, I don't know how he ever come up. I watched him a lot in the lower leagues because obviously I watch lower league football as well. And I have no idea how he, of all people, got promoted because he was the most horrendous ref I've ever seen in my life. And he hasn't impressed me much in the Premier League either. But there's a small pot that he's got to choose from. And that's the problem.
Well, that's route one, isn't it? That's the first thing you've got to solve.
Yeah.
Because it's fair enough us going from season to, because this is the third season, I feel, of kind of really obtuse decisions. We've always had them through our history. I mean, we're all mentally scarred as Arsenal fans from the Arsenal are soft and we got 7 leg breaks in like 5 seasons. Do you remember? Yeah. And it was just kind of like, that's why we're scarred, because we know where it can go to. And it's like, so now I feel like how do you, because we can discuss it, but how do you solve it? And that is the first step, isn't it? You're going to have to widen your pool of referees that you can pull into. Because to manage performance, there's got to be accountability. If you're going from stinker to stinker to stinker to stinker, and there is no accountability, no punishment, then how do you improve? How do you raise the standard?
Yeah, Yeah, no, I totally agree with what you're saying. Yeah, Chris saying breaking news: Arsenal winning with 10 men after I was told it was illegal to win with 10 men, and it can't happen. Well, to be fair, Wolves did go down to 10 men themselves, so that's how it happened. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't believe the Kroenkes won't back this Warriors in January. I'm incensed. All I will say is Tim and Richard were at the Molineux today. I won't tell you how I know, but they were up here, and that is unusual. That's all I'm going to say. So we'll move on. Ferguson and Liverpool under Klopp kicked up a stink and got refs taken off their games. Oliver should never ref a game of ours again. Unfortunately, he will, because it's just the way it is. Gomez was second because he was already on yellow. You can't give straight red after yellow after some fans that brain dead, but the tackle was definitely a red card offence from Gomez.
I thought you could give a straight red on the second. So that goes. I'm brain dead. I do apologise, Chris, because I honestly thought that each challenge could be done on its own merit.
I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. I'm pretty sure you can still get a red card, a straight red card after a yellow. I'm sure you can. I'll have to look in that.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure from the top of my head. MLS, we all agree, should have been a yellow, 100%. Definitely yellow offence.
Yeah.
Carlisle bloody let Fleetwood back into equalise by playing out from the back. Why play from that back? Like League Two, so stupid. Trossard red, says Tammy. They would add a game if it was just which. This isn't, Bobby. There's no way on earth the ex-manager and ex-player on the panel would say it's a red, it's a yellow all day. 100%. It's definitely a yellow. Definitely agree on that one. There have been games where there have been reds. The Saliba one where was it Saliba or Gabriel? Last man. I think it was Van Nielsen. So it was against Bournemouth. That was a red for me. I know a lot of Arsenal fans say it's not a red, but it was for me.
Never. Yeah, gone.
But no, do you know what I mean? It's like I can take my Arsenal hat off sometimes because I need to. And
I think if it's going to be a red, then I want to see all the because there was a couple of decisions either side of that.
I agree.
Yeah, and haven't been reds, and I'm like, well, what's going on?
I know that's the bit that annoys me. If they're all reds, then hopefully all of us would just calm down and go, fine, it's a red. But you then have other games where the same kind of thing happens, and you go, well, hang on, come on, people, what's going on here?
Absolutely,
I do get the Arsenal fans' frustration with it, but R1, and I won't ever go, oh, just because it wasn't given in that game doesn't mean it can't be. For me, I go by game. So I try and keep my head as calm as I can. Temi saying evening to yourself. I was right about how Liverpool and Arsenal games would go. Easy Liverpool win. Arsenal making it hard work for themselves and showing why they need a striker. 100%. 7 days till the window shuts. Craig David did more in 7 days. To be fair, we have a little bit longer than 7 days. It does close on Monday,
doesn't it?
Week on Monday. So we've got a little bit longer. I think this week you will see a lot from Arsenal. A lot. Just prepare yourselves, people. Just prepare yourselves.
I've got the baby oil ready.
People could take that so many different ways. I'm just saying.
I'm not turning it into a Diddy party. I mean,
Havertz is a good backup to bring off bench, but not the answer to be first choice. In my opinion, need an other option. 100%. Well, it is what it is. Sanchez, worst keeper in the league and the world. Arteta side 7 goalkeepers, 7 defenders. Not forgetting a Jesus and Havertz. To be fair, he signed quite a lot of defenders, hasn't he, in his time?
Let's face it, the attacking players to Arteta are what defensive midfielders were to Wenger, right?
Yes, yeah. I don't quite get Arteta because he wasn't really a defensive-minded player.
No, he wasn't.
He seems to have become one. And I've said this loads of times. Normally, the type of player you were is the type of coach you are. Obviously, different.
I get that.
And I'm quite shocked by Arteta because I was expecting to be a little bit more exciting.
Particularly being a student of the Wenger years as well.
Yeah, and it's like because Pep was a defensive midfielder, and you kind of understand Pep's way.
Yeah.
Arteta's not that way.
No,
because I've watched him at Glasgow. I watched him at Rangers. Obviously, I'm a Rangers fan. I liked him. I liked him at Everton, to be fair, as well. I just wasn't expecting this, if I'm honest.
I've got to say, I quite liked that Everton team that he was in.
Yeah.
They had a few good pros at that time.
I do wish we signed Arteta a couple of years before we did.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I did think he was a good player. But
yeah, I did.
Yeah, but it is what it is. I would have kept Nwaneri on instead of Martinelli because of intelligence. Totally agree.
Well, ultimately, who came up with the cross for the goal? Martinelli, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Or was it? Yeah.
Was it?
Oh, I don't know now.
Because no one got the assist for the goal. Also,
no. Let chat fill me in. I could be wrong. I might have got that wrong. I thought Martinelli put the ball. I could be completely wrong on that one.
Havertz is a false 9 for Chris. False 9 or winger kind of attack. He would be brilliant in the Munich team, just like up against next.
I see what was like that 10. You know, that sort of.
Yeah, because Bayern Munich have like 3 10s, don't they? They have Musiala, Sane, Koeman. They just have 3 behind Kane.
Yeah, he would be perfect for me.
Yeah, he would be perfect in that lineup. Bayern Munich, if you're listening, please do sign him if you wish to. Gyökeres, it would just help us get Sesko, to be fair, if someone signs him. Gyökeres is the answer, but Kroenkes don't have the ambition. No, this one is more to do with the release clause. It's an absolute nightmare to try and pay for it. For people that don't understand release clauses, you do kind of have to, in La Liga, you have to pay it all in one lump sum to La Liga. In Portugal, it's however they want to do it, but Sporting want a large lump up front.
But Bobby,
where Arsenal aren't comfortable.
If you don't want to lose your star striker in the middle of the season when you're chasing for honours and you're in the Champions League, I'll be asking for it up front as well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they've got the power to do that right now.
Absolutely. And so that way, it's their rules, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's the seller's market in January.
100%. In the summer, you'll see it differently, and I'm sure our Arsenal fans will come for KSE again. Oh, but they've paid such and such for him. Yeah, because Sporting Lisbon have got a gentleman's agreement to let him go for a certain different way in the summer. But in January, you're mine, and I'm keeping you.
Yeah.
So
we've got things that we want to win. And
it's very much similar to Sesko. Like Sesko. Leipzig had an agreement last summer for a gentleman's agreement to leave next summer. Yeah. Right now, you're mine. Unless someone's going to give us a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, or a premium on top of what we're asking in the summer.
Yeah,
exactly. Absolutely. I get that. And that's what we would call good business if we was doing it with our players.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Tell me, watching the City's Kuznetsov, and my God, he's shocking.
I feel for him. He doesn't speak much English. First game, but they've turned out 3-1 winners and back up to 4th.
Yes. What I will say about Kuznetsov is he's very good at the decision making when it comes to the right time tackle, but he still has a lot to learn. I think City should have bought him and sent him back out on loan. Personally, if I was
I agree with that. I feel like he is one season away from when we brought Saliba back into the fold.
Yeah, just a little bit too early. And it's a bit like who was the guy that was next to Saliba in that team at St. Etienne that went to Chelsea? What was that dude's name?
Yeah, I know you mean.
Blimmin' heck. Chris will tell me. I know Chris will tell me in the chat. I can't think of his name now. It's going to do my head in.
Fofana.
That's it. Thank you.
Well done, Timmy.
Thank you. But same. Too early.
Yeah,
they were both young. Just leave them to grow a little bit more.
Not only that, he has a chance then for 6 months to learn a bit more English.
Yes, exactly. Kuznetsov, by the way, has 0 English. Not just a little bit. It's like 0. Bless him. Yeah. He's so young as well. I think Pep has lost it a little bit, if I'm honest. I think he's lost his mind. Marino plays with Fridge on his back, or is Jim Collins. 800 million pounds spent, and we need another rebuild. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We've made a couple of errors. I wouldn't say we've made a lot of errors. We've made a couple of errors.
See,
I don't entirely but I don't entirely disagree with that. I mean, 800 million spent. You look at the spend of our competitors around us as a total spend.
Yeah.
The figures are high as well. That's not our net spend. We have sold players.
Yes.
And it's the nature of it that you're always going to need a conveyor belt of talent, aren't you?
Yeah.
And we had to get ourselves out of the mud and compete. Phase 1, that was phase 1 for me. We're there.
Yeah.
It's now this getting the silverware in the cabinet. Otherwise, we're in danger of becoming them down the road. So that's the next bit now. And we've got to be I do understand what Arteta's saying about being careful about who we're bringing in to make sure we're not just spending more money for money's sake, Mourinho. But it's going to be something that brings the team forward. I know that can be hidden behind. I know what my fellow Arsenal fans are feeling, and every time it's like we're, eye to the keyhole, watching something a little bit more when we've got City and Chelsea just like like money, sign.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, come on, we need some of that. But
we've got sensible owners. We don't have stupid owners, and that's what I like.
I don't just believe they want the titles, though, Bobby. Yeah. I think they are. I think they're hard for it. It's the one that is. We are the jewel of their crown in their jewel, jewel in their crown.
Yeah,
I think they need it.
Yeah, well, look, every other team that they own has won something. The Rams, the Rapids,
Nuggets,
the Denver Nuggets, or whatever they're called.
Well, they pay out one of the biggest contracts in basketball for Jovic. Was it? Yeah.
Well, yeah. And hang on, when there's there's an ice hockey team that they own as well. They've won something.
Yeah.
Can't think who they are. Sorry.
The Stanley Cup. No, it's it will come to me.
I have no idea who they are. Colorado something again, I think aren't they? Something. But they've won everything in their other sports apart from us. So of course they want us to win.
Yeah.
Nippon, well, obviously Nippon's a little bit more confusing. I know there's disputes between Ornstein and Fab on this one. We'll leave that up to them too. But look, he's being wooed by all the clubs at the moment. Of course, he's going to turn up to different games because he hasn't made his decision, and that's up to him. It's his decision. I will respect whatever he wants to do. I don't think he's agreed to anything yet. He's just going to be wooed. Why not? If you're going to get all this lovely pampering by multiple clubs, you're going to have it.
God, listen. So come on, biggest club or the most? They're not the biggest club. I completely retract that. But the most successful country club in the country at this moment turns around and says, "Hey, come along. Of course you're going to."
Yeah. And plus Haaland's there, and obviously he's Norwegian, just like Haaland is. So of course he's going to go. And Oscar Bob is there as well. So obviously you'll know Oscar Bob as well. And obviously we've got Odegaard, but it's up to him. Whatever he decides. Super-duper-do as well, says Debbie. We will review the game, I promise, about 10 o'clock. Nick
tune in tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry, we'll do another one, part 2. Look, I love Nick. Obviously, me and Nick have spoke for... How long have we spoken to each other for now? It's been a while, isn't it? And it's nice to get him on the show. I love Geeks. Always have done. He's always been in the comments. Thankfully, I reached out and made sure got him involved in the armory as well, because our group WhatsApp guys. If you think he talks a lot now, you should see what everyone is like in the armory. It's non-stop. And to be fair, Nick's
the quiet kid in that.
He's one of the quietest ones. Nick is in that group. So they are definitely corrupt, says BX. They're not. It's just the refs are rubbish. They're just all bad. BX, you should know, like the MLS has improved over the years for like refs, and that was down to Howard Webb. But ours is just, they seem to have got worse. It's mad. There's corruption in all leagues and sports. Refs are gonna ref, says BX. Those fireworks started outside Oliver's house were started by Paul Fawkes. Guess whose granddad was? I don't blame refs for results before it's for me, unless that really did cost you. Unfortunately for you, it was in the first half. Still plenty of time to win the league. Fine. The refs are awful. Please don't want people giving them vile abuse. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same, mate. I don't keep it just football. you're a bad ref, you're whatever, but don't get it personal. It's the same with footballers. I don't just keep it within the football guidelines. Don't get it personal. Bobby is glad Ipswich got bad. Not sure other Arsenal fans would agree they would. Well, I can't stand Ipswich. I'm Colchester born. I was born up to hate Ipswich. So there you go. Down with the living tractor boys. Pierce all their tyres for all I care. I've heard people call Havertz Kai Fawkes because unbelievable. I hated back in the 90s when we got deducted 2 points. United deducted 1. Should have been 2. We still won the league in 91. Rebecca Welch, she's referee a few times. She's good. Yeah. She is actually a very good WSL. And that's maybe sometimes what we should try and do.
Yes, I agree with that. It shouldn't just be male dominated. It should be a pool of,
I know we've had a few linos. I know Rebecca's done some lower league now, which I'm grateful to see. That maybe that is something, because obviously for people that don't know, Howard's wife heads the WSL refs.
Blimey.
So we could quite easily do it if we
had got the monopoly on refereeing.
Well, I know it would sound more corrupt, but honestly, the WSL refs are really good as well. They are really, really top notch. Havertz should have scored more than 1 today, Temi. Not going to knock him today. 3-1 to City. Oh, well. That is one of the most baffling red cards I've ever seen on Skelly. Oh, I totally agree. Oh, no, I'm not calling you brain dead. Don't yellow card on second year. Maybe we're wrong. I'll have to look it up. I'm pretty sure you can get a straight red. I'm pretty sure you can, because obviously if you've done a Cantona, I'm pretty sure you get a straight red.
Right. Yeah. Crystal Palace.
It would make no sense to not be able to be given a straight red, because I've known players have a yellow and a red separate within the same game, and their ban and their fine also is a yellow and a red separately. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that it does happen. Did you please, Nick? Did you get baby oil for the tongue? Oh, crikey. I knew you'd regret that comment. Was at the receiving end of a 6-0 Chelsea 5-1. Probably scared him into obsession with defence. Yeah. Nelly's cross, but deflected, says Temi. I was shocked Arsenal Bristol, but yeah, so am I. We'll get onto that in a minute, I promise. We will actually get the review in a minute. Martin was struggling at times. Kusanov is still young, to be fair. Hey-ho, we make mistakes. I just think it's still early for him at the moment. Fofana, so that was about the player earlier. We sold Ramsdale, ESR, and Nketiah got 84 million. That there is Gyökeres buyout clause. So why can't the Kroenkes stump up the money? Because they have got it. Oh, 100%. We've got, as I said, Deloitte obviously released how much money we got this week. Minimum 184. It's actually 214. We have got the money, but we are business people, and you don't want to kind of put all your eggs in one basket, because we've got a lot to do this summer. We've already talked about it earlier, how much we've still got to do in the summer. There's other players we need to buy. So if you're screwing yourself by spending all this money on a large lump sum for Gyökeres, you're then...
Takes away your flexibility.
Yeah. Because Zubimendi's not going to be cheap. That is a release clause.
Yeah.
That's a £51 million release clause. We are going to pay it in a different way, just to bear in mind. But there's other things we need to do. So I'm in agreement with that. They shouldn't do it by now. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Michael Oliver sent 8 Arsenal players off, more than anyone else. I wouldn't read too much into that though. We can all look at the little details and start. He's just a rubbish ref. Simple as that. I will stick my little flag on that pole. They all suck. None of them are good. Just anyone that's better than, mate. I would take the WSL. I would take people from Europe, apart from Trossard's brother. That's the only one. I not because he's bad. It's literally because Chelsea fans, Man City fans will say that it's literally his twin or something. And start accusing them of stuff. When I was playing football, I would be Roy Keane type on tackles where I could Forget Mark Oliver, Jamie Oliver would have given him a recipe for spaghetti. Oh, crikey. Right. That's the last comment. Let's get into the reactions. So let's just we've talked about the goal, so we'll just get onto the nitty-gritty of it now.
Yeah.
Right. Now, obviously, Chris is right. The first half, until the red card, we weren't exactly great anyway.
No, we wasn't. I felt we was better after it.
Yeah. Weird, isn't it? It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just not right at the moment. I do feel we need. I personally, and I've said this to you guys in the group. I personally need 4 players in this window. I'm greedy.
No, I would go with that because I feel like we need impetus in different places in the pitch.
Yeah. I think it's doable? No, of course it's not, because Arteta's not that type of person. But how many do you think bare minimum do we need in that door by the end of the window?
By the end of the window, what I would. There's no reason why Miles Lewis-Skelly can't continue between with left back. We've got Calafiori as well, right?
Yeah.
And Ashley Cole came in, something similar. And do you remember he knocked out the Brazilian of the time? I've forgotten his name. Silvinho? No, can't remember what his name was. And he just kept his position, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then, so there's no reason why he can't. I don't want to see him now. I'd love to see him come over to the midfield, but for now, we're talking about this season.
Yeah.
Defence, I've got less concern about, actually, which is a lovely thing to say after what we've been through. Midfield, it's really weird with Odegaard. Odegaard came back and had absolutely 2 stonking games.
Yeah.
And then gone off the ball. You expect it the other way round. You expect him to have some off games, trying to find his fitness, and then get up to the really stonking games. Not sure what's going on there. And I feel that's an area that we need to look at. Creativity from midfield. I'm a bit concerned about our goals from midfield.
Yes.
That's where I'm most concerned. I mean, Declan Rice, it's never been a strong part of his game, and I'm not convinced it will be.
Yeah,
that's where I honestly believe that right 8 position is where Kai could really do something.
Yeah,
we can't guarantee how Saka is going to come back.
No,
we don't know if the injury will chase him around his body as he gets right. We don't know what that's going to. What do we get back physically? Not ability, physically.
Yeah.
And the way that players go through that guy is ridiculous. So I'm a bit concerned for Saka for this season. So I definitely think we need a winger. We need a striker. But I like Gimenez from Feyenoord.
I do know. Yeah, Gimenez is definitely untouchable in the January.
Yeah. I like that. I don't think we need 1 striker. I think we need 2.
Yes. Because, thankfully someone says it. Yes.
Because I think different profiles help. I don't want a Swiss Army knife player either. I don't want somebody that can be a 10, I do want one to be a 9. And I don't mind somebody that can kind of play through the fate. I don't mind that. But I feel like we need 2 strikers, a winger, and maybe looking at something in midfield. That's me personally.
No, I agree, mate. We're looking at a youngster. To be fair, he's having he's only 20, so I can't really be too hard on him. He's got 6 goals, 4 assists in 20 games.
Okay.
He does do a lot of defensive work, which obviously goes into how we play, which is perfect. Chances created, he does create a lot of chances, which is fascinating for considering as a striker. Normally it's all me.
Yeah. My reservation with that though, Bobby.
Yes, mate.
Our consistency are in finishing. So it's good that he's creating chances, but if you're still passing to the players that are missing the target, does that improve us?
Yeah, true.
That's the only thing I would say on that. But 6 goals and 4 assists at the age of 20, you're a baby. You're still developing.
Yeah, exactly.
That is impressive.
He is Argentinian. People can start looking this up if you want. It's absolutely fine. I've only told one person the name of him at the moment because obviously he's worked within the field of Arsenal rumours and all that kind of stuff. So I have told him who it is. But I quite like him. But not as the number 1 choice. Obviously, Sesko's my number 1 choice for who's available and Arteta's style. If it was my choice, I'm going for Samu or Boniface. That's just me.
Okay.
I want someone that's physically strong. Sesko is strong,
but
not a big bully.
Oh, they will be.
He is actually, the weird thing is, he's actually available. Leverkusen would sell him if the right price went. Yeah. It's weird, that one.
Is that because last season he had an abductor injury, didn't he? And he was out for a period of games. I think this year is hamstring, or have I got that back to front? I was just wondering, has that kind of put the brakes on people? Because he has missed like 6 or 7 games, and he does seem to score in bunches.
Yes, he's only played 10 games this season.
I like him. I do like him, and I do understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I just like a bruiser. I like.
Yeah, I do. That's why I like Liam Delap. I loved how he played against us. I was like, go on.
I expect him to leave in the summer.
I love his physicality. I love seeing strikers go shoulder to shoulder with a defender and give it.
Sesko can do it. Just so everyone's fully aware. I just need a bit more brute.
Yeah,
I just don't know if Sesko's.
He could build up. That's why you want 2, right?
Yeah, kind of do. Yeah, because that's why I want Samu as well. I love Samu.
Yeah.
Anyone doesn't know, he's plays for Porto. Absolutely love him. Real bruiser. But yeah, it's just one of those. So yeah, I kind of agree with what the players that you've said about. I think we'll get one forward for guaranteed. Could we possibly announce Zubimendi earlier? I don't think so.
I don't think he brings anything right now.
No.
So what our hang up is right now is creativity and clinical finishing in front of goal.
Yeah. The only time I can see that we'll announce Zubi is when if we see Jorginho leave this window.
Yes.
Because with the situation that we all know that's possible with Thomas Partey, we would just be left with Jorginho. Yeah. That is the end of our season. I'll be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will not survive without him. But obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with that. But
it would be crazy to get rid of him in January. He's been a very good signing.
Yeah,
Jorginho.
Yes, I've just seen Chris's comment 1 hour later the review starts.
I am sorry, everyone. It's my fault. I do apologise.
No, look, we said before, because obviously we spoke very quickly before the show started, and we said we'll just literally be talking about Michael Oliver for quite a while.
I know.
We did. Because it was that for me is the most important talking point today. Yes, we won the free game, brilliant stuff. So let's focus on how bad the refs are right now. But no, I agree with the three that you. I just
who would your wide player option be?
For me,
I
find this one tough.
So do I,
because I'm not that convinced by Nico Williams. I'll be honest.
I'm with you. I'm not there either. I know I'm going to get pillared for this, but I'm not there either.
I personally, there's a few. I quite like Rafael Leao.
I was going to say Musiala. Just go.
Oh yeah, but I see. My head has to go with who's gettable. For me, Musiala is staying at Munich.
Okay.
So for me, I've got to take him out of it because he's just not available. Wirtz is available, but for me, more centralised than wide.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Rafael Leao down the left. So Leao, Saka, Sesko, beautiful. For me, that's beautiful. That's the kind of three that, as a defender, obviously I was played at defence. I would go mummy. Seeing those three coming towards me, I'm like, mama.
Can I ask a real? This is when I'm going to get kicked out now. Rashford on the left on a loan, get rid of Neto, the keeper. If he came in and put in a stint that Aubameyang done at Barcelona, where we are right now, I mean, the likelihood of who we're going to secure and how many we're going to bring in. Would you be tempted on the reality of trying to make that, or would it be, no, that's too toxic, we're going nowhere near it?
The only problem is that there's a few issues we've got with this. One, Rashford is on a lot of money. A lot of money. We also have 2 Premier League loans already. Mm-hmm. We would have to, if Neto was to be cancelled, which is the only one that I can see,
we'd have to bring a keeper in.
We would have to bring a goalkeeper in.
Okay.
Do I feel Rashford could come to Arsenal? I can't rule it out. I'll be honest, I can't, because
it makes sense in some ways. Yeah,
and we need someone. For me, I don't think Arteta
definitely KSC will want to close this window without bringing
without anything. I agree, and that's why I think it could happen. And it depends.
It could.
And if we get an angry something to prove Rashford in his 30 goal a season form, well, you could say that was a. Do you know? Yeah. And so, yeah. Okay.
I think it could happen. Only because other things just aren't panning out the way that we would
want
like
them to. Yeah, I wondered.
Do I think that this young kid that I was on about earlier, the 20-year-old, he could be a surprise by the end of the window because we have a very good relationship with the team.
Right.
We've already signed 2 players from their team in the past couple of seasons, so that's doable. I can see Rashford, but you would see Neto loan cancelled very quickly, or Sterling could be cancelled, but to be honest, I just don't think it would happen. Arteta's got this thing where he thinks Sterling is still the same Sterling that he was a few years ago. He's not.
I don't
anymore.
think he is. I think there's something missing.
It's the Chelsea thing again. He went to Chelsea, didn't get his powers.
It's the curse.
Honestly, it's weird, but it's becoming. If you look at all the different players that, apart from Cole Palmer, because obviously he's just weird, very good player though, but
phenomenal.
Very weird. Yeah. But there are a lot of players like Nkunku.
Yeah. I would have signed him. I was gutted. Gutted. He went to Chelsea.
Who would have signed him? Because there's not many people that wouldn't have.
No, I would have.
But
I mean, he just got Player of the Month in that Bundesliga, that final Bundesliga season.
Yeah.
Like, what was it? 5 months? 5 months?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. You look at Lavia.
Lavia. That is just weird, right?
Yeah.
Even what's going on with the Ukrainian winger.
Yeah, Mudryk. Yeah.
There's a player there.
Oh, 100% there is. Yeah.
But
obviously it's just other things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the stats. So 51%, obviously the stats are kind of a bit weird because obviously both teams went down to 10 men.
But then I would have said 49% when you've been down to 10 men, because it was down to 10 men for at least, 20 minutes, half an hour of the match? More than them? They got their red card in about... So the fact that we've still retained that sort of level of possession, because I think at that point we were up like 55, 58%.
Yeah.
So the fact that we didn't ebb away completely, that's decent.
No, it is. It is. Big up to 280 people watching, by the way. Sorry, I forgot to say thank you to everyone watching. Completely agree. You need options off the bench. Yeah, our bench looked awful today.
It does. But there's nothing in attack.
We don't need to sign players. We need to sign referees. Very good, Tim. Please let MLS move to midfield. He will blow up. I think that will be his position eventually. We are looking at a left back, which obviously tells you everything about MLS. We're looking for like
Justin
Kirkes. No, we're looking at like a Kirkes type style. He's brilliant, Kirkes. Sorry, Chris, we are going to challenge you for Kirkes' signature because I know that Liverpool fans want him as well. But no, that's the type of left back we're looking for. Is pacey and dangerous. Which tells you everything about MLS, that he will be moved into midfield at some point. So, which is good for us. No, Kai
is there room? Is there room for him? We've got 100 million, right, and we've just got our 51 million. Subimendi.
I'll be honest. I think it tells me everything about Marino. I don't think he's a long-term project,
right? At all. Stop gap.
Yeah, I think. I don't. Maybe not this summer, but maybe the following summer I will see him.
Or the winter.
Maybe or the winter. Yeah. To be honest, I kind of rule out winter transfers now. At the moment, I'm just. Yeah, it's kind of annoying the winter window now.
Cool.
But no, we've got obviously Max Doman as well coming through. So I think for a while we've got quite a good midfield. As long as we keep everyone fit. I think probably maybe need one more. Just that'll be it. But that if everything else needs to be done, like the forward line, that needs to be tampered with a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly another goalkeeper. But then we're nearly done. Finally. Yeah. So we're not that far.
It's like painting the fourth bridge, isn't it? It's like
exactly. No Kai's in midfield, please. I'm tired of mediocre. To be fair, there's been a couple of games where he's in midfield, and it's not been that bad because he's pushed forward more than Odegaard. When that happens, you see a different Kai, and I like that one.
But
when you're asking him to be behind Odegaard, no, he's no midfielder. He's an attacking-minded midfielder. I did my first 0-0 watch along, Bobby, for Oh no, I was 20 minutes late in the first half. Nothing. Yeah. Oh mate. Yeah. I feel for you on these 0-0 watch alongs. They are the worst. Nothing will ever beat my Israel versus Kosovo one.
Oh gosh, Bobby.
Do you remember it?
that is something, isn't it? Just
that was the most horrendous game I've ever watched in my life.
It's like, what do I talk about?
Yeah. The only goals I got were the penalties. That was it. It was a horrendous game. Sterling needs to change his game. Be a Perez. He came back from a long injury, changed his game slightly, and was still world class. I also feel he needs just to have. I don't know. There's something just not quite right with him personally as well. I just feel he needs to change it a little bit. MLS should be the future number 8, says Brenny. I agree, because I know a lot of people comparing him to Dembele.
But when Miles is on the edge of the box, I want to stop him passing sideways out to. I want to see him take a crack every so often.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to see him start having a crack, and don't be fearful of missing or anything else. I mean, he's worried about retaining place in the team, and he's doing percentage stuff, isn't he?
Yes.
I want to see him take a crack when he's on that edge of the box. He's just inside, and usually he'll pass out to the left, where maybe a bit of quick feet and get a shot off is where I want to see from him.
Yeah, 100%. AFC always. You are never going to get me.
He's my god.
With this. He is the man that I don't
love
players on shirts. But Bergkamp is one person I have. I've got Lee Dixon and Stefan Schwartz are the three players I've got on my shirts.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say I'm not that way, but I'd have his children. He's my god. I love him. When Thierry Henry and Ian Wright, the two of the three kings, turn around and say he's the best player they ever played with, good enough for me.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. But yeah, I absolutely adore Bergkamp. Always will do. Yeah. Evening to Tony. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Tony.
Today. Great to see Nick on a stream. It is indeed. Big up to Mohammed saying Carnu. Yeah, love again, Carnu. Love him.
Oh, that Chelsea game.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. His mentality was always just determined.
Such a nice guy.
Oh, 100%. Funny thing with my watch along, MK Don's player final kick of the game almost gifted Wimbledon player free tapping. Oh my word. Silver one, big up, and Bergkamp, my Premier League go as a Liverpool fan. So big up to you, Chris, for saying that. So we'll move on to the other stats. Quickly cover the XG for people that don't like it. Sorry, but I have to go through it. 0.58 for Wolves, 0.99 for Arsenal. Kind of tells you exactly how the game was. Set plays weren't great for Wolves. They weren't great for Arsenal.
They weren't great for us either.
No,
the first man a load of times.
Yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute because obviously I talk about Hover at the end of the show, so we'll definitely keep on keep talking about that later. Jules now. I don't like losing. Chris, I knew you'd be excited about XG. I know you have. Definitely sarcasm there. Aerial duels, we lost. I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
Especially when we've got such a big team now.
And a team that we've got. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm disappointed in that. We did all right ground duels, but yeah, I'm not happy the fact that we lost aerial duels because Wolves aren't that big a team, to be fair. So passes, obviously, bear in mind, both went down to 10 men. We were down to 10 men a little bit longer, so obviously the stats are a little bit off today. But passing accuracy still 83%, which is decent enough for me. Most of our passes were in the opposition half. Again, happy with that. Touches in the opponent's box was only 20, which is probably our lowest for a long time. Only around 30, 40.
But still. Considering we had 10 men for so long.
God, what's Temi doing? Galas best 10.5. Temi, and I'm glad everyone's doing this. Temi, behave yourself.
Temi, you're our leader, dude. You can't be saying stuff like that.
Exactly. So, right, let's get.
He's an agent of chaos. Yes.
The starting lineup. Now, obviously, we'll have to talk about Odegaard. He is ill, so I don't expect to see him against Girona. But I do think we'll see him back against City if we're sensible, obviously, because Saliba should not have played today. In my opinion,
I was really surprised about that, and he went.
Yeah, he's nowhere near fit.
No.
I think it's panic stations a little bit, if I'm honest, because Ben White's obviously not back yet, so we can't really put him at right back and Timber back at right centre back. Kivior, I think we all kind of know that Kivior will leave in the summer.
He's just wanting out, isn't he? Yeah.
He wants gone. We obviously can't really risk him going right now because obviously we want to spend the money on a forward, not a defender, because that's what we'd have to do. Kivior will leave in the summer for me. But overall, I think everyone's quite happy with the starting lineup today. Were you?
Yes. I mean, I'm looking at that. I'm seeing obviously Odegaard's out, but seeing Ethan in the right 8, I'm like, yes, absolutely. Let's get some of that, particularly because I wanted to see him driving from a deeper position. I feel like he's going to offer more the older he gets. I just wanted to have a good look at him, basically. Lewis, obviously, Saliba I was very nervous about. I've got to say, I wasn't overly pleased to see Saliba back for this game for Wolves.
No.
And then the lineup was kind of, they're either going to repeat what they did the other day, or we're all going to be chewing the sofa and shouting.
I like that, chewing the sofa. But no, look, I think a lot of fans fell for this today. They all saw Ethan's name. They go, "Oh, brilliant! We've got the midfield we finally wanted, Ethan and Odegaard." Oh,
Odegaard. Oh,
where's Odegaard?
Where's Odegaard?
Which I thought was quite funny today. But no, it's Odegaard's just ill. It happens. Players are just not fit enough because of illness. There's so many bugs going around.
I would rather him out than another stinker.
Yeah, and to be fair, recently he's had a bit of a stinker. So,
maybe that was why.
Well, I don't think so personally. He's actually properly ill at the moment. He wasn't the past few games, but no,
he was ill. He was ill a little while ago as well. Since he's been back, hasn't he?
There's been a few of them that was on the weather. Ill the last time they said he was ill. Because if he was ill, he wouldn't have been on the bench.
Okay. Fair enough.
The last time they said he was ill, he was on the bench. That doesn't happen. If you're ill, you're nowhere near the team.
You know the team. You don't want to
keep away from me.
Detective Bobby.
Yeah. But no, if you're ill, you're nowhere near the team because unfortunately
that makes
they
sense.
Won't get it because they're so close to each other.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Temmie's loving the fact that he's misbehaving. Temmie always misbehaves. Rather have Sol Campbell than Gallas. 100%.
Who wouldn't?
Gallas worse Arsenal centre back. Oh, I think there's a few worse than him.
There are a few worse. Yeah,
but Gallas isn't that bad, but there's definitely worse. I've seen a lot worse. Arsenal Football Club. Stefanos comes to mind.
Stefanos, I know that. What was it? 8-1 at United. Do you remember that?
There's definitely been worse. That's for certain. Right, so let's do some player ratings.
Yeah, that's good.
These are all going to be on you. I'm not going to partake in any of these ratings. So,
I'm breaking out of sweat now. Okay.
Oh yeah, all pressure's on you, mate.
Okay.
Raya, what are you going to give Raya?
I'm going to give Raya my man of the match, and that's probably an 8.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it was just because I do like David Raya. I was a bit dismayed when I do appreciate what he's brought to the team, the way that we use him to create space. Yeah.
So regarding what I was talking about with possibly replacing last summer.
Yeah.
To be honest, mate, I'm quite prepared for it to happen possibly next summer as well.
Oh, you're joking me.
Only because with Arteta, sometimes you just don't know what he's going to come up with. I don't think there's any goalkeepers available this summer that I think he might go for. Obviously, last summer there was someone that was possible. But other things happened which meant that this player couldn't leave. So,
I mean, how did the rest of the squad interpret that when you consider some of the saves he's pulled off this
I know, season? It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I do find his decision making sometimes a little bit odd. Like that Samba training is weird. I'll be honest, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't get him sometimes. Mohammed, before we get on to Timber, he's mentioning Jonathan David or Santiago Jimenez. Jimenez is untouchable this window. Feyenoord have already told everyone that. There is a lot of clubs after him, but I think he will go in this summer.
If it was Jonathan David, sorry, go on.
Well, Jonathan David, quickly before Nick says what he wants to say. He obviously his contract's up, so he can sign whoever he wants now because he's a Bosman. So it's up to him. Yes, mate. What were you going to say?
I would have said, but out of the two of them, I would pick Jimenez personally.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Jonathan David, for me. Now, I know everyone takes this the wrong way, especially a certain Canadian that used to be a part of this show. He's classed as a lazy player. Now, when I say lazy, it doesn't mean that they don't do nothing. They just don't do what is asked.
I was watching him. I agree with that. I wanted him to put more pressure on the game the other day with Liverpool on the centre backs.
There you go.
I felt he could close down more, and he wasn't. And I was like, you need to help your team out there. Because then that gives that space on the midfield and the defence to be able to push out. Yeah. And he just needed to do that ugly centre forward work a little bit quicker. Yeah.
Well, within scouting, when they do the scout reports, that's what they class as lazy. So it's not lazy as in we class lazy as. It's
more pass the ball and he just looks at it.
Yeah. But it's like Odegaard does it sometimes. He there was a couple of games ago now, and it stuck in my head. So he was calling for the Arsenal players to like push out, but obviously Arteta was telling them to hold back. And I was thinking, Odegaard, you've literally got 4 players around you, just passing the ball around you. You're doing nothing. You're just peeing in the middle. Yeah, and I'm like, don't say stuff unless you're going to do it yourself as well.
Absolutely.
And so currently at the moment, he's doing my head in a little bit on that because he's expecting other players to do stuff that he doesn't do himself.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, mate.
Lead by example. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what a captain is. Big up to Chris saying you have to go. No, thank you ever so much, mate.
It has gone on for 10 years. Don't,
Temi has given me his ratings, so I've starred those. We'll come back to those in a minute.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go through his ratings quickly now. So Timber, what do you rate him?
Actually, I'm going to upgrade Raya to a 9.
Oh, okay, cool.
Timber, I thought he got kicked to pieces today.
Yes.
But he done what he did extremely well, so that's an 8 for me.
Okay. Saliba.
Saliba gets a solid 8 as well, just because of coming back not fit and putting in that performance. I thought he done well. There might have been no. I'm going to give him an 8.
Okay, fair enough. The captain today, Gabriel.
He's an 8.
Okay.
The whole defense, I'm going all the way. I'm going to give Miles Lewis-Skelly a 15 just because of I can't do that, can I? But I felt like he was doing well, Skelly. And I can't really. He done, even in that instance when he picked up the red, he done kind of what I would have expected him to do. Because sometimes you need to put a foot out. It's being a bit clever and putting a foot out and slowing down the play, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
I know. Timber. It might seem a bit of a higher. He got a yellow for protesting, which is a bit of a. But I thought he acquitted himself extremely well, bearing in mind he had to kind of walk that tightrope after getting that yellow. That's why I gave him an 8. I thought the centre back pair were just their typical. So I thought they were solid. There was one time when Semedo burst down the right and got a beautiful ball in, where I would have liked them to maybe get their head on it. But where I'm sitting at this point now, I thought it was I'm taking the 3 points. We were down to 10 men. We all felt robbed. I thought the team showed character, which is what I'm asking of them, and they fought and ground out their 3 points. So I can't really mark people down except for the front line a little bit for me. But
yeah, no, I'll get that. Thomas Partey.
I will go 7.
Oh, okay.
No, is it enough for an 8? Because I do. I was going to say 7.5, but I heard Bobby saying we don't do halves.
No, we don't.
I'll go up then. I'll give him an 8 as well.
No, fair enough. Declan.
I like Declan. I thought he was. I'll go 8. Sorry, it is going to be like that because I don't.
It's ratings are ratings. It doesn't really bother me. It's I'm interested on different people's opinions. Obviously, I've seen Tammy's.
Ethan for me was positive when he was on. I think it was probably a good thing that he was when he's coming back, substituted when he was, in terms of protecting him. He's the exuberance of youth and all the rest of it. But for the first half 7, I can't knock him for anything.
Fair enough. Martinelli,
I'm pretty sure he was led to the goal, even if it was deflected. And for that, I will give him a 7.
Okay. Trossard. It's not feeling quite good here, is it? Trossard. You try to remember if he was on the pitch.
I'm going to go 6.
Okay, fair enough. It's the way you went, Trossard. Was he on there?
I was just thinking, I can't, because of what the game hinged on.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to kind of pull out something that stands out in my memory, and I can't really.
No, fair enough. I'm like that with Trossard sometimes anyway. So
yeah,
I get it. Havertz.
Tough game for Kai because he came close in another day, and they will go in. Except for if you're Havertz, but
exactly.
he was still in the positions that at least he's not missing. There's some strikers that go missing. You want them in the box, and they're not in the box, like Harry Kane playing for England in the last tournament. 6.
No, fair enough. We'll go into the subs. There's only obviously 2.
Yeah,
Calafiori.
9. I'll go 9 just for the winner. Just for the winner, he gets up there, and his post-match interview. Love him. Yeah,
I do like his character. I have to be honest.
Yeah, I do, and
he needs to improve if he's going to play the left back more often, which I'm hoping he doesn't. He does need to improve learning how to be a left back. He's a good centre back.
He's a cracker. I want to see him. You know what we fear might happen this summer.
Yes.
I still can't see why he can't occupy the left and move Gabby over as such, if that ever came to fruit.
Yeah, but he's one of these with two. He likes a left and a right, doesn't he?
Well, then, but last game when Gabby done that brilliant slide tackle, he done that with his right foot.
I know, but you know what Arteta's like. It's just that's why we're obviously looking at what's his name, Araujo from Barca. I know he's just signed his new contract, but
right, is that still possible?
It's the contract's going to be signed by Araujo at Barcelona, but again, there's a gentleman's agreement where in the summer they will allow him to speak to other clubs if he still wants to move. So it's basically protecting his value.
Just protecting his value. Okay.
I know, because a lot of fans go, oh, yeah, he's just signed a new contract. It's got nothing to do with him staying at the club. It's more to do with the money.
Yeah, no, I get that. And they probably turned around and offered him a ridiculous wage.
To be honest, I might have to see how much he's getting paid now. It'd be interesting. So, yeah, Calafiori got a 9, and obviously Kieran came on, but I'm not going to let him be scored.
No, he was, But with Kieran, I think people forget, beautiful left foot crossing, man. Havertz should have put that away. I've missed his crosses. I miss Tierney in the team. I'm really sad that the system has done what it's done, and his body's given out on him, basically.
But this is the bit that really annoys me. It's going to annoy Arsenal fans as well, because for the left backs that we're looking at, I see Kieran Tierney in every single.
I know. Don't say it to me.
And that's what annoys me. Because I'm like, but Tierney's that left back, and you didn't play him.
He is that. But he is made of. He has been made of glass.
Oh, that I can agree with. Yeah,
but then he's going to go to blooming Celtic, and he won't miss a game. I bet sometimes it happens. It was like when Santi had all of that injury nightmare, then went abroad and he was fine.
Yeah. It's.
I love Kieran. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, and he's going to my arch rivals in Scotland, so it's not nice.
Yeah.
But no, I love him to bits, Tierney. Always will. But yeah, so that's them. Let's get into the comments, and then we'll go on to Hover and Arteta. Cool. Zigic is the laziest player I've seen. I've seen a lot of lazy players, but yeah, I do get the Zigic one. Cherky's an interesting one because we obviously know that he can literally be signed for 22 million quid. Yeah. We know
that there is an attitude problem with Cherki, which is why the value has never really gone up with him, if I'm honest. He's a little bit of a troublemaker.
My problem with this...
Yes, mate, carry on.
Sorry, Bob. Is, forwards need to... It's like the Ian Wright thing. They need to have a bit of character.
Oh, 100%.
On the pitch, you need character, but...
Yeah.
Arteta's adverse to characters. Sometimes you've got to be confident in your own ability, be confident in the professionalism of the group.
Yes.
There's a healthy managerial ways to keep control.
Yeah.
Just for having one or two characters don't mean you're going to create a bad seed and a grab clicks and all of that sort of stuff
100%.
That was before.
Yeah.
Get some characters in, because sometimes you need that, because they need to have that attitude. I'm going to put the ball in the back of the net. I'm going to be so
yeah.
Otherwise,
as you know, I say a specific word in the group WhatsApp, which is what I feel that Arsenal are missing. It begins with a B, ends with a D. I feel we miss a couple of those.
Yeah.
And I think Cherki would be a great signing, especially for that price. It's not a huge risk.
No, I don't think so.
I think you would actually make it if it didn't pan out over a season or two. I think you'd actually make a profit on him personally.
Oh, of course, but you can't. I mean, even if you didn't, there's not too much money in football terms to lose there.
Oh, heck no. 20 million quid's nothing. Yeah. It's something you found down the side of the sofa.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it is in Premier League terms. It's literally something you find down the corner of the sofa nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mohamed, 100%. I will be doing the watch along, which I'm not looking forward to. I'll be honest. I hate watching City. So I'm not looking forward to it. Temi, Mohamed saying Cunha, 100%. Arsenal know this as well. So if Cunha was to come to Arsenal, there's no way we've paid 180 million for him. If he comes to us, we've paid no more than 60 million. If he comes to us, there's obviously multiple clubs involved. Aston Villa have now come out of the woodwork. Forest, United could be involved at some point. Chelsea. There's many. Temi, I know that you didn't score Martinez, so I know you've put it in there now. So I will go to yours in a minute. 100%. That's it. Still my best. 100%. Brenny, you know how much I love fullbacks because obviously it's my position. Oh. So when it comes to Tierney, I'm going to be so sad to see him leave, and it's going to annoy me because the profile that we're trying to look at is exactly like Tierney, and I'm like, seriously.
Yeah. I mean, the best compliment I could pay Kieran is the fact that I feel like he would have got on with the Keown, Dixon, Bold, Adams, Winterburn. They would have loved him because he's very much in that sort of guise. That's me. He's a throwback. Yeah, and I think after we're done with all of this stupid inverting and playing centre backs at left back, and we're going to go back to this conventional because all of a sudden it works. You're going to get that overlap and balls in for the tall player and all the rest of it.
100%. Yeah, because obviously going back to that era, I am thinking of Winterburn, and I'm thinking, there is a bit of aspects of Tierney in Winterburn actually. Now I'm thinking about
a bit of an edge.
I quite like it. Right, tell me, we're going to go through your scores, mate. Ray gets a 10, Timber gets a 10, Galiba, for people that don't understand, that's a Saliba and Gabriel together, gets a 10, MLS 11 because he's a victim, Partey gets a 10, Rice gets a 10, Waneri gets a 9, Trosso gets an 8, Ghostverts gets a 2, not seen, Subs, Calamaldini, man of the match,
Calamaldini,
Arteta and Harnew gets an 8, and Kroenkes gets a 0, Martinelli gets an 8. Fair enough, mate, fair enough. Neto in goal midweek, you really think so? Oh, blimmin' heck. I'll be shocked.
Same here.
You know what? This is what I can actually probably see. If he does go in goal, we then cancel the contract, the loan the following day. And then we
just got that one just to justify that one or the expense.
Yeah, because it is the most ridiculous loan sign I've ever seen Arsenal do. And we've done some bad ones over the time.
Yeah.
But this one is the most ridiculous because he was cop tied for the only cop that really we would have seen him in.
It's nearly Kim Kallstrom levels, isn't it?
This is pretty much up there. But look, we all know Neto was loved by Arteta a couple of years ago because we were trying to get him from Barcelona.
Yeah, we were.
So it didn't shock me that after Jean Garcia didn't come, that we went to go and get Neto. It didn't shock me.
Do you think that's completely dead?
Say that again, mate.
That situation, is that completely dead?
No, it's going to come back alive again in the summer because he's had what I can only describe as a very bad season. So I think he's Cole Hein has conceded the most goals, and then Jean Garcia is next to Cole Hein in La Liga. So he's having a really bad season, which means the value has probably dropped a little
Which
bit.
is harsh on keepers, because sometimes that can be your midfield and defence in front of you. But anywho.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, this is the thing. This is why when we signed Ramsdale, I wasn't bothered that he got relegated twice.
I don't understand people saying that. It's like, if you're in a relegated club, there's bigger issues than the keeper.
Exactly. And as long as Inaki and the goalkeeping scouts are happy with Jean Garcia, then go and get him, especially if it's going to be cheaper in the summer because he's had a bad, well, not he's had a bad season, but the club's had a bad season. Then great, sign him. Arsenal fans spent all that fortune only for Tierney to still be the best left back at the club. Yeah, it is. So I suppose some part of it you can laugh. But it is quite painful at the same time.
Yeah.
Big up to Steve saying hello, chap. Recovering from a second. Oh, geez, Steve.
Oh, buddy.
Rest up, mate. Rest up, please. But yeah, take it easy, mate. But thank you for joining us as always. Right, let's talk about Hover now. I saw a lot of hate towards Hover today because the set pieces weren't great.
He's not taking them.
Does he actually take them?
Let's go. There we go. He's not the one crossing the ball.
No. Yeah. Because the set pieces are good,
yeah.
But if you're not beating the first man, then his plan has gone out the window anyway. Because it's not beating the first man,
right?
That's not his fault.
It's not. But what he's laid out, whatever clever runs and all the rest of it, doesn't come to fruition if you're not getting the ball in.
No, exactly. So I don't understand the hate towards Hover today. Honestly, the people that got so much hate today was Hover got hate. In the past couple of weeks, I've seen Tim get blame, which is literally our lawyer at Arsenal. I don't know why Tim gets mentioned. Today, I saw a really funny tweet about Jason, who's obviously taken over Edu's role for the time being, get some hate. And I'm like, listen, what are you on about?
I love my Arsenal brothers, I do, but there are some that are just absolutely lost. When you're reading about Kai Havertz's missus being disgracefully abused, I mean, it's like, give your heads a check, people. Come on, what is this 100%. About? You know?
Yeah. It's mental, isn't it? And it's so sad when it gets personal because, like,
I know. What was I expecting Jover to do?
I know. I just don't get it. It's like, and Mohammed, I've seen hate towards Richard, and I'm like,
never.
Why?
He's done so well at Arsenal.
Yeah, I just don't get it because look, at the end of the day, these are Arteta's men. He's the one, and you look. It was all in the media about
this is the squad that Mikel built.
Yeah, you know, he had to get permission to sign Marino. He wanted him, so that one's literally on him. Kai's on him. And Calafiori is on him. Calafiori, I think, will work out. I think he will be a good signing.
Yeah.
Kai, not hating the player, but wrong system. So, but Marino, wrong league, if I'm honest.
He was good at Newcastle before he went.
Did you think he was good? Because I thought he was.
I thought he was solid. He definitely had moments when I was, but not to the point of. I was jumping for joy at his signing.
Okay, yeah, because he played at Dortmund, and I didn't get it when he played at Dortmund either. And I was like, I'm not getting you. And I feel exactly the same way at Arsenal. I'm like, I don't dislike the player,
value. Yeah,
but I just don't get it. It just doesn't.
No, as I said, I feel like giving Zinni a crack at the left 8 this year, particularly when you up until now we've been inverting Zinni into midfield.
Yes. Yeah.
So he plays there for the national team. Made sense.
Yeah. I know. I know. And the fact is he could be leaving in a minute. By the end of the week. There's two
to be replaced by a player that plays like Tim by Zinni. Yeah, it'll be something like that, won't it?
Oh, it's just mental. I kind of see why we're going to let Zinni. Obviously, I've spoke to you guys about the salaries. Obviously, he's on a high earner.
Yeah,
he's not really going to play for us anymore because obviously Calafiori's back. Lewis Skelly is obviously playing there now as well, so he won't get many minutes. So why are we going to pay him 120 grand a week? It's just see you later. It does make sense.
It's like with Tommy. I love Tommy, and his body's betraying him, but I love him as a player when he's
100%. Yeah,
another one, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyone who does that needs medical help, says Tammy.
True.
To be fair, garlic does stink, literally. Tammy. No, look. When I say they're the worst, it's how many goals they've conceded. So everyone just hates on Karl Hein because he's conceded. But to be fair, what I've heard about Karl Hein is he's a very good goalkeeper. I personally don't think he's an Arsenal standard goalkeeper. I don't think he'll take the number 3 slot. I don't think he'll take the number 2. Setford's good. Nygaard's going to get there, and Rojas is also very good, a Colombian kid that we got. So I think we do need to buy in a new number 2. And I think,
well, it'll be a new number 1, and then David Raya.
Yeah, because I personally think the idea with Jean Garcia is only going to cost 20 million quid. They will give him obviously the cup games, obviously, and then obviously if he's doing well in those, then maybe Raya will have to start looking over his shoulder, going, "Oh, hang on, young Spaniard here, he's looking pretty good in these cup games. I might need to
up
my game a bit." But that we want that. We don't want someone just going, "No, I'm all right. I'm always going to be number 1 at the weekends."
But what can he do better, Raya?
Well, exactly. For me,
so many games this season, he's come up with key saves.
Yeah, I don't think he's done. Yeah, he's not done much wrong. I'm one of those where I like my goalkeeper to be a goalkeeper, and that is it.
Right.
What I don't like about Raya is his decision making, and it is his. It's nothing to do with Arteta.
Mm-hmm.
It's his decision making to all of a sudden be a left back or a right back or a DM. Because
the wandering out of goal, I don't like that too. Yeah,
it's not even like wandering out of goal is fine. I'm okay with it. I've watched Neuer for many years and Oliver Kahn for many years.
I'm still scarred by Naeem. I'm sorry for mentioning.
Oh yes, Naeem for the halfway line. Yes, but no, it's when he comes out the goal, but then he's not even in front of it. Like if someone wants, they wouldn't have to lob him. They literally just have to roll the ball in.
I know.
Because he's on the left-hand side or the right-hand side of the pitch. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Get back. Yeah, I know.
That really does not enjoy. I don't enjoy that, I'll be honest. No. We need to say calm and carry on and reel them in. Look, we've got 3 points. That's the main important part of it today.
Absolutely. We move again.
Because it did look like we could drop 2.
Oh, yeah, majorly.
But we got 3 points. Now, obviously, next weekend is important. What's Temi saying here? Temi, I'm surprised Raya hasn't been lobbed. So am I, to be fair. I think it will happen, unfortunately. And Brenny doesn't all get it with people. No, I don't get it. It just makes no sense to me, unfortunately. No. So quickly rate Hover on his set piece plays. Obviously,
I can't. I mean, we didn't score from one, but
no,
that wasn't. The credits go to the players when they pull off his plan. And then if it's ingenious and all the rest of it. So it didn't happen today. So 5, but that's not because he done badly. It wasn't his fault,
exactly. 5 is an average mark anyway.
I feel like we've suffered from not having Saka's delivery from the opposite side.
Yeah, and Declan's was off today, unfortunately. Normally he's pretty good, but he was off today. The magic of Dubai, it's coming. Let's hope it works this time, but let's not put all our eggs in that basket saying, "Oh, it's going to do wonders for us." Let's just wait and see what happens first. Mikel, what are you going to give Mikel rating today?
Just for the sake of going into that post-match interview and not swearing his head off and saying what we all know should have been said, he gets a 9 for me, because ultimately Wolves are down in the table. But when you have a look at their players and that team, they shouldn't be down in the table.
Nope.
It's a tricky place to go to. That had 0-0 or a defeat all over it.
Yep.
The boys dug deep. He obviously got them focused, and they weren't too emotionally charged in the second half. So that's management. He took them back in with all of those emotions and everything else, and he got that team to go out and win the second half. 9.
No, fair enough. Can't disagree with that. I probably would just put him down 1 just because he picked Saliba. I just don't think Saliba should have been anywhere near the team today.
No, okay. Do you know what? I overlook that. I will go with that. Yeah. Because
it's just
that is too important to risk in stuff like that.
Yeah.
I just know he's not fully fit, and obviously we've got a massive game next weekend, which for me is the
He's not going to use him at Girona, is he? He wouldn't be.
Oh, I hope not.
I hope not either. I would completely, because of the way it has to swing.
Yeah,
I'd use the B team, or whatever our B team would look like. That's what goes out there. We don't need to win the game. Even if we lost 2-0, it would have to take another team to win by like 6 or 7 to overtake us. So
no, I agree. And I'll be honest, don't forget Girona are part of the City group.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if
somebody wants to put in a meaty challenge to reduce us for the next Saturday. That's what I thought about. Yeah. So you don't risk anything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I am with it.
Yeah, I don't want to see him there.
Yeah, I haven't missed that link either.
Yeah. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Big up to the 390 people currently watching, listening to us moan about all sorts. Geeks. Oh, Nick, sorry, mate.
That's okay. Whatever you want to call me, you know.
It's been a pleasure, mate. But where can people find you?
Hiding in a bush somewhere in the southwest of England.
That sounds so wrong.
Particularly with the baby oil earlier. God. I can hear sirens. What's going on? They found me, Bobby. I've got to
go. But no, where can they find you, my friend?
Geeks of Muckleby is my channel that I'm not doing absolutely anything with because of various reasons. But yeah, for now. Or in the chat section on this fabulous channel.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. Yeah, but yeah, Geeks have got a great show when he's able to do it, which I'm hoping will be soon. But obviously, it is what it is. Sometimes we all have our inner fights that we have to try and defeat. And we're doing our best. That's all we can do at the moment. But Geeks, it's been a pleasure, mate. And
thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much.
As I'll say to everyone, if anyone's listening, if you want to get involved in the group WhatsApp, you'll get involved in streams. I have a very open door policy. I don't
so
care
much so he let me in.
Well, no, it's a case that I don't care who you are. I don't,
you're great. It's a fantastic. And anyone watching, any of that, how many did you say we got watching?
396 now.
396. Genuinely, this is a fabulous community, guys. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and get involved because they are a great bunch of guys here.
Thank you very much, Nick. Appreciate that. I'll pay you later. But no, guys, honestly, message me on X and I'll get you involved in the group WhatsApp because honestly, it's 24/7, just non-stop talking Arsenal, football, sometimes even crazy stuff than that. But no, honestly, I'd love to get you involved because we'll get you on the shows. Obviously, Brezzy's been away for a while, but he joined me on the preview the other day, and Brezzy will hopefully be back as well soon. So I like everyone involved. But yeah, what's that? Pick up to Steve. Hope you're all right, mate. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Bren. Great stream. Terry saying legendary. Thank you very much. You'll see me again in midweek because obviously I've got the preview for Girona game. I won't be doing the watch along, but I will be doing the reaction and the preview to it. And then obviously the game I dread the most, Man City. But there we go.
I'll be doing everything trying not to look at it. It's one of those ones. My nerves will be awful. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you do it, Bob.
No, I don't know how I do it sometimes. I don't know why I do it. There's a why and a how. I don't know. But guys, I'm out of here. Nick, speak to you later, mate.
Take care,
guys. Buddy. See you later. Bye-bye.